Hi, it's Tash from Foxes and Brown Bears Tarot, and today is day 13 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot. And the prompt is tarot self-care rituals that you use only for personal practice. Now, pretty much I only use tarot for myself. So all of it, I could argue, is self-care, but there's two particular techniques I use that really focus on self-care. And so the first one, I actually got the idea from Katie Flowers, and it's the idea of gratitude. And so what I do is I use my Everyday Enchantment tarot by Palin for this, and every night before going to sleep, I pick a card, and then I have to look within the card to find things that I'm grateful for. So, for example, if I just pulled out, say I pulled out this world card, I'd be looking at things like maybe, I live in a place that has a lot of greenery, or I saw a beautiful bird today, or I have a lovely community that comes together when needed, or I managed to find time to work on my hobbies. And so it's not even necessarily linked to the meaning of the card, but it's just any visual trigger within the card that reminds you of something that you're grateful for. And I find that that is such a great way to end the day, because we are so frequently focusing on the negative in our lives that we tend to forget that the positives often outweigh the negatives, just because maybe they're littler, but there's so many more of them. And if we just redirect our attention to that each day, like even on the hardest days, it at least tries to balance out some of that energy so that we're not seeing everything as bleak. And so great practice, and I'll continue doing that forever. And the Everyday Enchantment is particularly good for that because it is so full of imagery, and the pictures are so detailed, and they also depict everyday life. So it's really easy to see things in your world in this. So it's not something really esoteric where you have to go, okay, well, there's a dragon. How do I link this to gratitude? So, yep. And the second one I want to discuss is my use of the Native Spirit Oracle cards by Denise, Linn. And what I do with these is I use them for meditation. And so I'll pull a card, and I don't even necessarily look at the keyword, but what I do is I look at the actual landscape, and then I will use this as a prompt for a meditative journey. And so I actually picture myself walking through this landscape, interacting with this landscape, and I find that really good for shamanic type journeys. It just gives me a sense of the landscape that is going to be most healing for me that day, or is going to give me the most information. And I love this deck for that, because pretty much every card is just a beautiful landscape, and even the ones that depict people still are showing a landscape that you can very easily picture yourself in. And so yes, so I don't do this every day, but I try and do it a few times a week. And particularly if I'm feeling really low or stressed, then this is a deck I pull out, and I will actually go into a meditation. So this is primarily what I use this deck for. So anyway, they're my two self-care rituals. Hope you find them interesting. Thanks for watching. Take care.